Hi, Simon Chappell here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and today I'm talking about why the pandemic is causing many people to turn to alcohol. There's some frightening statistics that have been recently released, and I want to talk a bit about those and the impact it's having. And I also want to share some tips if you're thinking of quitting drinking or cutting back that are going to help you be able to take control of your relationship with alcohol. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, there's new ones every Tuesday and every Thursday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. And if you need more help with quitting drinking, head over to joinbesober.com where you can sign up for my quit drinking program. You get 14 days free. And don't forget, you can get my book, The Sober Survival Guide, right now on audio, paperback, and on Kindle. And you can also pre-order my new book, How to Quit Alcohol in 50 Days, which comes out in December, right before Christmas. So let's talk about why the pandemic is causing alcohol addiction. So 1 in 10 people are saying that they're going to enjoy more alcohol this year than last year, which is frightening. And 66% say that it's because they haven't had anything to celebrate in 2020. And I totally understand that. It's been a challenging year for everybody. Anxiety and stress have been heightened. There's worries about money, jobs, health, you name it. So I can understand that. Christmas host, people who have their family and friends around, 35% of them are saying that they will be serving low or no alcohol. But it's down so much on last year, where 54% of people said that they would serve low alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks. So that shows you that this trend of alcohol use is definitely creeping up. However, people aged between 18 and 34, they are continuing to drive the sobriety trend, with almost half of them saying that they will drink less or they'll have low or no alcohol options over the Christmas period. Personally, I don't think drinking alcohol is a way to celebrate. I don't see how short-term gratification, hangovers, arguments, falling asleep, not being engaged or fully present with our children and our family is celebrating. To me, that's not how we do it. Being fully engaged and in the moment is absolutely how we do it. And 1 in 5 people, this is a really scary statistic, 1 in 5 people say that they're drinking more during the lockdown. And many of those have said that they're drinking for reasons relating to stress and anxiety. However, 1 in 10 are drinking less often, but it really is the minority. So the actual figure was 21% who say that they've drunk during the pandemic due to stress and anxiety. And that really is frightening. My hope is that people will start to realize that an alcohol-free life is the way to get rid of stress and anxiety, start to learn that there's so much to gain rather than to lose. The Alcohol UK Change website reported that their support pages, where people go to get help and advice about quitting drinking, has seen a 242% increase since the start of the pandemic. 2 out of every 3 people said that they plan to drink the same or more even after the pandemic ends. So a lot of people are not even thinking about changing their behavior, and they're really not concerned about their relationship with alcohol. However, 30% say that they have tried to change their habit, but only 7% have stopped altogether. That figure, 30%, shows how many people are actually worried about their relationship with alcohol, how many people are struggling and wanting to make a change. So I wanted to address that. What should you do if you found that you've been drinking more during lockdown? And I think the first thing to ask yourself is whether you're drinking more now than you were 12 months ago, 5 years ago. If you use a journal, write it down and explore it, what your drinking behavior looks like now. Maybe you're starting earlier in the day. Maybe you're drinking something different. Maybe you drink later into the evening. And I want to address the point around whether it's okay to just cut down. Personally, I think if we're heavy drinkers and we feel that alcohol controls us rather than us controlling it, then I think moderating our drinking is not an option. I think it can feel like more of a challenge. So it's important to get really clear on whether you feel you have control or whether it's the other way around. And I get asked a lot whether I've people have really got a problem, and I think you only know if you've got a problem, and it is all about assessing whether you feel that you're in control of the relationship. I used to think about alcohol during the day, what time I would go to the store, what time I could start drinking. I'd put it in front of the important things in my life. It had control over me. And then the next question is, where do I even start if I think I need to quit drinking? Because how do you even approach something like that? Especially if you've drunk for over 2 decades, like I did. I drank every single day and I didn't know where to start. The first thing to try and do is take a short break. Just treat it as an experiment. You might want to do a week or commit to 30 days and see what happens. Start to notice the changes, how it makes you feel. And that will tell you who's got control of the relationship by the difficulties, the discomfort that you feel, or if you find it really easy. And then I would recommend starting to learn about what an alcohol free life looks like, how to quit drinking, the tips. You can read a book like mine. But most importantly, get excited and get motivated about it. Think about when you join a gym, you know why you're doing it, you get excited about it, you get motivated. Learn about all the benefits you're going to get from quitting alcohol in exactly the same way. Understand why you want to make this change, and you'll start to really feel excited about it. It's also important to explore your beliefs. Look at what you believe about alcohol. Write down why you actually drink. Is it to relieve stress or anxiety? Then look at whether those beliefs are really true. It's a fact. We often have beliefs that are completely wrong and they can limit us, they can hold us back. I used to believe that I could only have fun if I drank alcohol. I believed that alcohol helped me relax, that it eased my stress and it helped my anxiety. The fact was, it was making it all so much worse. But it wasn't until I got some clarity on my beliefs and that I started looking at them in much more detail that I was able to get some sense around that. And then I was able to form new healthy beliefs, beliefs that allowed me to become the best version of myself. And that really is a wonderful thing. So approaching it with a sense of curiosity makes so much sense. So you can start to be open-minded and understand that maybe some of your beliefs are actually holding you back or limiting you from being your best self. And I also recommend joining a community. There are so many alcohol-free communities, particularly on Facebook, Instagram, places like that, where you can connect with other people who are on the exact same journey. I run one of the biggest sobriety communities. It's called Be Sober, BE Sober. You can find it on Facebook. It's totally free to join. You can also join a quit drinking program. I run a quit drinking program where you get coaching, you get guided lessons, and again, you're connecting with people who are on the exact same journey that you are. I think that's a great way to dip your toe into the water and to start discovering what an alcohol-free life can bring you and how you can get there. As I say, I would just treat it as an experiment initially to find out what happens when you take a break from alcohol, to see which version of yourself you like the best, and then to understand and make a decision at the end of it. But immerse yourself in it, treat it like a new hobby, learn about everything you're going to gain, and soon you'll start realizing you're not going to lose anything. If you get your mindset right, you really don't need willpower. You can treat it like a lifestyle choice. And I'd also recommend feeling really determined. Think about a time in your life when you've been determined to achieve something. Maybe you wanted to move house, move country, go to university, have a baby, change career, run a half marathon. Know that there's times when you've already been determined and motivated to achieve something and you've done it. It's happened already. So you've got that within you. So when you know that, you can get your mindset right. And if you get your mindset to one of determination and motivation, the need for willpower tends to evaporate. You might need a little bit, but you won't need as much as you might think you will. Too many people approach this just by simply gritting their teeth and trying to white knuckle it. And that can be really hard. Willpower is like a muscle. Eventually it wears out. Whereas if you can get your mindset right and feel really hungry to become alcohol free, or at least to explore it, then you're going to find that you're set for success. But do look at those beliefs as well. Make sure you explore those, because those beliefs sit at the root of our behavior. Our beliefs drive our behavior, and they come from our values and the things that we've encountered throughout our lives. And commit yourself to learning and developing yourself. Treat it like you've thrown yourself into studying for a degree or a new hobby. Get your hands on as many quick drinking books as you can. Listen to podcasts. Look at the websites, the blogs with articles and information that can help you. And check out videos just like this one on YouTube. Communities are going to help you so much as well, because you're going to find inspirational people who are further on the journey than you, or a little bit behind, or at the same point as you. So you'll be able to connect with people who can really help you. Look on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for that sort of thing. And get yourself a journal and write in it every day. Write down your daily intentions, any changes in your emotions, your mood, whatever you've experienced, get it down, because that data is really going to serve you. And make sure you check out all the alcohol-free drinks that are available, and find yourself something new, a new alcohol-free go-to drink, and get yourself a lovely glass to have it in. I also recommend taking a selfie, noticing all the changes that go on in your face, in your body over the period of, say, 30 days or 2 months, because that's going to really help you, give you a visual understanding of everything that's changed. And be accountable as well. Tell your partner, tell your kids, tell your closest friends what you're doing, so that they can be there to support you. And as you go forward, maybe you can widen the circle out and start to tell other people about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And make sure you get support as well. It needs to be with safe people. You might even get yourself a quit alcohol coach, or you might join a program, as I said. But whatever you do, make sure you get support, so that you've got people you can turn to who understand what you're trying to achieve. They can understand the challenges that you can face, and you've got somebody to reach out to. It might just be a close friend, a close family member, or you might seek out a professional. A really good piece of advice is to join my program. I'm not trying to sell it to you, but you get 14 days so you can try it anyway, where you can connect with coaches directly and people who have been alcohol free for a longer period of time. I also think it's important to accept that there are going to be periods where we experience some discomfort. It can be emotional mostly rather than physical, because most of us are psychologically addicted to alcohol. 90% of people are psychologically addicted rather than physically addicted. But having an acceptance that there probably will be setbacks, there probably will be emotional discomfort, and getting that all down in a journal is going to really help you. And get yourself a wall chart too, with every single day of the year on it. And every day that you work on yourself, put a big X on that wall chart. Get a streak going, so that you can look at it and feel good about yourself, that you're putting in the work. That doesn't necessarily mean you were alcohol free that day. It just means that you showed up and you put the work in. But do have an acceptance that there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and there's going to be opportunities to learn. Setbacks are opportunities for comebacks. They're opportunities to learn. And most importantly, celebrate your victories, not just the days that you're alcohol free, but every milestone, every achievement. Maybe it's the first social event, or the first time that you've been to a store and not bought wine. I remember that myself. Whatever it is, make sure that you recognize it and notice it, that you're actually doing these things and going out into the world is as the new version of you. And a great tactic as you continue to move forward is to start to name and label your feelings. Whatever you're feeling, actually pay attention to that. It could be anger, rage, sadness, whatever it might be. Of course, there's good feelings too as well, but don't suppress them. Notice what they are and try and verbalize them, speak them out to people. And it may even be a case of expressing them to the person who made you feel that way, and putting a boundary in place so it doesn't happen again. But getting those feelings out stops you holding on to them, holding on to the negative energy, and allows you to get them out of here, out into the world, and you can process them and move through them. So treat this as an experiment. Look at what your drinking has been like from 12 months ago, or even just before the pandemic started, and then pay attention to that. If you feel that your drinking has gone up too much and it's time to start doing something about it, there's a whole bunch of tips there that will enable you to really get set for success. But don't feel like I'm asking you or telling you, which I'm absolutely not, to just quit drinking for life. It'd be great if you did do that, but start to take baby steps. Then slowly get yourself out into the real world, start to socialize again. You might find you don't like doing the things that you used to do, and keep a mind of curiosity. Start speaking your truth about how you feel, working on self love. So many of us feel like we're not good enough or somehow we're not worthy. And try and accept yourself as you are, which is perfectly imperfect. If you need to get a coach or join a program, absolutely do that. And make sure you set up an environment for success, because it can be all too easy to leave alcohol in our house, which is always going to mean we need willpower, or to keep returning to the old haunts that we used to go to when we were drinking. So if you used to go to the pub every single day, continuing to do that is not going to help. You're probably going to find that you'll be sat in the pub feeling frustrated, and eventually you're going to want to drink. You might have heard the phrase, if you sit in a barber shop for long enough, you're going to get a haircut. It's exactly that. Whereas if you don't go to the barber shop, you're not going to get a haircut. So keep the booze out of the house. Avoid anything that you feel is a trigger, and put safe boundaries around you so that you don't do those things, and take responsibility for yourself. It's all too easy to think that it's someone else's problem, or somebody else should rescue you or guide you on the journey. There's plenty of support out there, plenty of people who will coach you and assist you on the journey. But no, ultimately, we're the ones who are responsible for ourselves. We're the ones who have the power of choice. And this is all about claiming back the power that we've often handed over to alcohol. I handed over my personal power to alcohol for over 20 years. I was drinking 2 or 3 bottles of red wine every single day, and it controlled me. I didn't control it. And it was important that I actually realized that. And then I was able to quit alcohol and move forward with my life by claiming back the power. And when I claimed back the power, I was able to let go of my anxiety, my low moods. I became happier. My relationships changed. Everything changed for the better. And the reason I got so motivated and excited when I quit drinking was because I'd learned about all the wonderful things that change, all the positives, all the things that we gain rather than lose. And when you think about this as a gain rather than any type of loss, you can really get your mindset right and start to reframe your thinking so that you're able to move forward into an alcohol-free life if that's what you decide, or take a break with complete curiosity so that you can discover what happens. I almost guarantee if you take a break for 30 days from alcohol, by the end of it, you'll be feeling so good, you'll be sleeping well, you would have noticed changes in your face when you took a second selfie and compared the two, that you probably won't ever want to go back to drinking. You'll probably think that life is so good, you've never felt better. And it's a change that you'll really want to make. But I think you've got to be hungry to make that change. You've got to really want it. Nobody's going to do it for you. So take responsibility. Don't just allow alcohol to control your life for the rest of it. Start to see what the relationship looks like. How much control has alcohol really got? If the thought of taking 30 days away from alcohol fills you with dread, I think you've probably already got your answer, because that was exactly how I felt. And that was when I realized I needed to make a significant change. I actually needed to cut alcohol out of my life. And know that I'm here to support you. You can join my community. The Facebook group is completely free. It's got over 15,000 members, and they're all waiting there to put their arms around your shoulder and to help you on your journey. Even if you do just treat it as an experiment and do a week initially and see what happens, just take that one step and find out what's on the other side of changing your relationship with alcohol.